Hello and welcome to another video for Midas Touch Toys, Games and Collectibles. And today we're looking at something that's not really that old, but it is based on vintage television series. So we are looking at today the 2010 release by Mattel from their Masters of the Universe Classics figures, and these are all relating to the original 1983 television series. Now the series first aired in 1983. I think it was September 1983 it first aired, and it ran for 2 years till November the 21st 1985. There was 130 episodes produced, all about 20 to 23 minutes long, and on top of that there was a theatre movie produced, which was He-Man and She-Ra in the Secret of the Sword, and then there was a Christmas special entitled He-Man and She-Ra, a Christmas special. So yeah, I mean, there was a revival of He-Man again, which was New Adventures of He-Man. There was also a spin-off series called She-Ra, Princess of Power, and then again in 2002 they came back and redone He-Man and the Master of the Universe again, and again in 2021. So it's been around for quite some time. But the figures we're looking at today are from the original 1983 television series, and we are looking at the Eternian Palace Guards. Okay, this is the box it comes in, and at the very top it says Masters of the Universe Classics, and at the bottom it says Eternian Palace Guards, Heroic Guards, and it's got figures there, and it's for the adult collector, as it says on the right hand side of the packet. Okay, that's the front of the box. Let's turn the box around and have a read of what's on the back before we actually decide whether we're going to open the pack and take them out. Okay, so I'll turn the pack around. This is what we got on the back. So it says Master of the Universe Classics, it says collect them all, and it says Skeletor, evil lord of destruction, He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe. We've got Beastman, the savage henchman, Merman, ocean warlord, Faker, evil robot of Skeletor, Triclops, evil and sees everything, Telia, warrior goddess, and Man-at-Arms, heroic master of weapons. And this set here is the Eternian Palace Guards. I'm just going to lean this forward so I can read this a little bit better. So it says, real name varies. From across the light hemisphere of Eternia, the bravest and most noble warriors in Randor's kingdom were recruited by Man-at-Arms and later Clampchump to help guard the royal family. Often called upon to aid the Masters of the Universe, the Royal Guards are trained in multiple forms of hand-to-hand combat and are masters of many weapons, including the Power Staff and several types of energy blasters. Whenever the Royal Palace is threatened, it is the strength of the elite guardsmen which often repels evil. Brave Palace Guards, like Lieutenant Spectre, defend the royal family from attack. And there you can see the two figures either side of that bio there, and you've got MateyCollector.com. Each sold separately, subject to availability. Some figures may no longer be available. Colours and decorations may vary, and that's obviously because they were such a limited run on these figures. They were only made for the adult collector. Okay, that's the back of the box. I am now going to open this box. I'm going to take the figures out, and we're going to have a look at them outside of the box. I don't think I'm going to be able to remove them from the card, because all the other ones we've opened before I haven't been able to. But let's take them apart, let's have a look at them, and let's see what we can see. Okay, so I've removed the figures from the packet, and this is what we got. Now, I can't actually take them out of the container, because if I just turn them around, you can see they're all still strapped in. There's these bands that are holding them in place, although this band is actually broken. But the rest of them, all the bands are still in place, holding them into position. So I can't actually remove them from the packet. But you can see that these figures are awesome, and they stand in this awesome backdrop as well. So you can keep that backdrop from the box just to display the figures in. I mean, these figures are fantastic. The articulation is amazing, and they do look the part. I'm just going to stand them back inside that backdrop because it keeps them in a nice solid position. Because I want to get some measurements of these two figures. I want you to see the size of them, and also I want to show you the articulation because they've got some amazing articulation on them. So if we look at these figures, we are looking at a height of about 18 centimeters, and that converts inch-wise to 7 inches. So they're exactly 7 inches tall each figure. If you measure across the width of the figures, well, you're looking at 4 inches, which is about 10, 11 centimeters, something like that. And they're quite deep, these figures. So you're looking, if I try and get the ruler to the back of them, you're going to be looking at about 5 centimeters deep. They are big and bulky figures. And you know, it's hardly surprising when you look at their biceps and how they are. So they've got interchangeable heads as well. You can see here there's 2 additional heads that you can replace. There's also a lower shield there. You can see this one's got the shield on his headset there. Well, those do come off. And there's a second one here, so you can take that off and you can put it on one of the other heads, or you can put one onto this fella here. They're each got their own markings on their chest, and this one's holding whatever that is, some kind of weapon and a shield, and this one's holding an axe sword, if you like, an axe mask or staff, if you like. That looks like there's some. Oh, I see. So you've got this can go on front of that there, where you can see that he's been struck. I think this one goes on him. So that one's where he's been cut, and this one here goes. I think it goes over the top of that one, so you can just see a standard chest place there without any damage. So, or maybe they come out. I think they might come out, and you replace them with these ones. So there we are. Articulation wise, though, we can see the great articulation. So obviously the head moves and rotates. They're on a ball joint. You've got the tops of the shoulders, you've got the tops of the arms, which move from side to side, and you've got the pivotal arm elbow area. I don't think the hands move because the tops of the arms move. So you've got 3 points of articulation on each arm. Leg wise, you've got the tops of the legs, you've got the knee joints, and you've got the feet. So again, you've got 3 points of articulation on each feet. You do have the waist. Actually, you can see the hand does move there. So we are talking 1, 2, 3, 4 points of articulation on each arm. So it's 4, 8, and you've got 1, 2, 3 on each leg. So you got 8 and 6, that's 14, 15, 16 points of articulation I'm counting on these figures. So yep, the waist and the head move. So that's all your points of articulation. Absolutely amazing figures these are. Hardly surprising that they are adult collectible figures because they are absolutely stunning. I'm just going to zoom in. Let's just stand that up a little bit better. I'm just going to zoom in on the facial features. Can't really see much on that one because he's got the mask on. But all of his detailing, his armour is superb. His shield, his weapon, his knee pads, his boots, and you can see their bulging biceps on the tops of their legs and on their arms. Absolutely amazing figures, and the same with this one here. And this one we can see his face, and it's a very, very good image of a face, even though it's not of anyone in particular. But absolutely detailing is superb. Again, as is the whole body, the armor, the weaponry, the shield, absolutely everything. The knee pads, it's just absolutely fantastic. Again, the additional chest pieces there. And again, if we come out again, and I just want to zoom in on those 2 additional heads that you can see there. So one looks like a lizard, one looks like a cat, but you can interchange these not quite sure why they are what they are. Maybe there's more different Eternia guards, each one, and maybe there was a one that looked like a cat, one that looked like a snake. I cannot remember, but maybe that's the case. But there are those interchangeable heads that go with these figures. Okay, now down to the serious part. How well did these figures do back in 2010? Well, remember, these figures are not for children. These are adult collector figures, and they're really, these figures were aimed at the children from the 1980s who used to play with their own He-Man and the Master of the Universe figures. These are more for those people that were well into the series when they were children. So they designed them, they've updated them, they've made them bigger, better and bolder, and made them available. Obviously, people that were children back in the 1980s are now in their 40s or 50s, and they have disposable income to spend on their childhood dreams. So that's what these figures were geared for. Mattel are very, very good at doing things like that, taking you back in time, and really playing on your love of your childhood, for enable you to go out and buy these figures and put into your collection. But they do such a great job, you just can never say no. I mean, they're just so good quality, display fantastically, and with that backdrop as well, these figures will look amazing. I would take them out of the plastic, but I would keep them in that backdrop on as a display piece. Absolutely stunning. So very limited quantities these were, only aimed for the adult collector, and only released for well, I think it wasn't even a year. So they were done in very small quantities, very short amount of time, and whatever that was done was sold. Now we're going to move forward 14 years. It's not a particularly long time, but anything that's considered not produced for 10 years drops into that vintage bracket. Under 10 years drops into the retro bracket, but anything over 10 years goes into that vintage bracket. So these are now classed as vintage toys, vintage figures. They have, as I say, they haven't been produced for the last 10 years, for the last 14 years, I should say, coming up to 15 years. Yeah, and because of the lower quantities and the shortness of run, they really don't appear very often on any of the platforms. You do see some of them come up, don't get me wrong, you do see some of these figures come up, but even though it's only 14 or 15 years since they were released, they are incredibly rare and incredibly collectible now. You do see quite a few of these figures appear on the platforms out of the packets. You don't see them in mint unused condition like this one is, because a lot of them have been out and they've been on display. People bought these to display them, put them in their displays and what have you. Very, very rarely do you see them like this, mint sealed in the original package. And also, as I always say, if you're gonna buy off a platform, just be very careful, because a lot of them use stock images and you could end up with something you don't want and didn't know you was ordering. So if you're ordering on a platform and it's got a used button next to it, click on it and see what you are about to order, because you could be very disappointed. We've had so many people tell us about stuff they bought from the platforms, expect that they're ordering new and end up with a used item in certainly no way the condition that they was expecting. But like I say, if it sounds too good to be true price wise, it is too good to be true, and you're not going to get what you think you're going to get. Or alternatively, rather than all that rigmarole, just come to us at Midas Touch Toys Games Collectibles, where you will know what you get is what you see. We pride ourselves on quality and new items, and most of the items that we have in stock are all former shop items that have been from, we buy a lot of stock from closed down shops or bankrupt stock, and we make these items available to you on the Midas Touch website. And this particular set we're looking at today was from a shop that decided to close down. The owners decided to retire, and we were fortunate enough to buy out all of their stock, and there was a whole load of these Masters of the Universe figures, and we were fortunate enough to take the whole lot, and one by one we will be preparing these items and making them available to you on the Midas Touch website. And you can get there very simply by clicking the link below. It will take you straight to the website, where you'll be able to find this and many other Master of the Universe items, and many other vintage toys, games and collectibles come to that. There's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I am absolutely positive this is something that you will not want to miss, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new items which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there's something in particular you are looking for, something old you've never been able to find, something quirky you might want to buy for a friend, or perhaps just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed reviewing these wonderful, wonderful Master of the Universe figures with me. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next video. So bye for now.